Hey everyone, it's me, Danielle, and I'm back to share some more of my crazy experiences and drawings. Um, I have been, well, right now, today I'm filming at my home away from home, which is my tattoo shop. Um, it's my little slice of heaven. Anyways, it's before we open, so hopefully the phone doesn't start ringing or people walking in and interrupting me while I go through some of these things I've been up to lately. I've been doing a series of guided meditations, jumping in on these ones guided by Danny Shea, which I'll put a link to his channel for anyone who wants to follow him. And maybe you can reach out. I think he's got a channel that is the guided meditations, which maybe I can share that as well. For anyone who wants to start following that, you can listen to the guided meditations on your own, or you can get on his email list and be in the Zooms live with him. So one of the first meditations we did, we went to a healing hut with a shaman, and we were receiving healing. My healing was interesting. It's like I was being held by Gaia herself, like the way a mother holds a child, and that was super amazing. And then we went off to meet our power animal, or our spirit animal that wanted to work with us. And I actually was out in space, and I saw what looked like this shape-shifting cloud that I could see different animals forming in it. And it's the creation energy of all animals. And I was pretty surprised to meet with that energy. And I asked it how I could help animals on Earth. And I got that I anchor in compassion and love for the animals, and knowledge about them. And also my work as a psychopomp, I help guide them to the light. I move a lot of humans in spirit and animals in spirit and other beings and ETs, all sorts of things. I help them into the light in the afterlife. So I just asked that energy to continue to help and support me so that I can better help and support them. In the second meditation, which was the following Saturday, so these meditations have been happening on Saturday mornings. Danny Shea calls in the directions and guides and power animals for each direction. He always calls in White Buffalo Calf Woman, who I personally, have a relationship with her. So anyways, when he called her in, I actually saw her, and instead of following his meditation, I went off with White Buffalo Calf Woman to her whole community. So I saw men and women that were her family, and I ran into myself in a life with her. So I didn't realize before that we were related in another life. I saw myself as, I believe, her sister, which is interesting because she is the guide of my current sister. That's how I know her, is that I've seen her before. So we were supposed to meet with our power animal, and I again met with the creation energy of all animals then. And this time, Danny had directed us to look through the animals' eyes and see how they see us. And I was surprised to see myself as an angel. It was a female angel, all glowing with wings. This is my first experience seeing that, and I will have to probably dive a little deeper to find out what that was about. I don't know, because animals, they don't have egos. So when they see, what they see is unfiltered, right? So yeah, I don't know what to make of that. So I will have to dive deeper, I guess, on that one. I was hired to do a couple new spirit guide arts. I actually have a ton of notes that I'm following right now because there's just so much to talk about, right? Um, so I was hired to do spirit guide art. One of the people that hired me, um, you know, I looked at his team and I never know really how some of this information is going to resonate for the person. You know, I feel like when people hire me, they want to see their ET, their galactic family. So when I have a look and I see just the cutest Sasquatch, I wonder, when I relay this message to the person, how it will be received. You know, I don't know. I believe, Sasquatches are here on Earth. I don't know if they portal in from another planet or they just coexist here with us in another dimension. I'm not sure. I do believe they're here though. Um, but are they only here? I don't know. This Sasquatch was emphasizing its mouth, and it just had the cutest open little mouth with crooked teeth. I don't know if it had missing teeth, but there were gaps. But it was really pointing at the teeth, and I felt like I could really feel in my heart that this Sasquatch was very loving. So, I just relayed what I saw since I didn't really know what it meant, but it turned out that the person who hired me, he was so excited that his guide was a Sasquatch because he said when he goes outside, he's always looking for Sasquatch, and he watches all the programs about Sasquatch that he can find. So that was really cute. And the tooth and emphasizing the mouth, he said that he has some painful teeth and he doesn't have dental insurance, so he has not taken care of his teeth yet. And I just advised him, be sure to do that before you get an infection, right? Because infections in the mouth are dangerous. I think the blood supply goes to the brain, so you want to always take care of your teeth quickly. I got hired by somebody else. His his other guide I saw was the all-seeing eye, the universal eye, the eye of providence. And I included that in the background with the Sasquatch, and he was very excited about that. I didn't know that something like that could be a guide. But he says that he always buys things that have that symbol on it. So that's interesting. I think that this person could develop really good clear abilities with this as your spirit guide. I just think that, work on it, raise your vibration. You're gonna see really well, I think. Another person who hired me, they wanted their guide drawn because they want to get it tattooed. They don't live in California, so I don't know that I will be doing the tattoo. I would love to if they want to come visit me. But when I looked, I saw this Viking who was bald and bearded. His mouth was very chapped and dry and cracked lips. His skin just looked like, sun damaged, sunburned, whatever, from being on a ship, probably no sunblock, obviously. And he did this curious thing. He opened his mouth, and inside his mouth, I saw this glowing eye in his throat. And he opened his mouth and he put it over my third eye, which was interesting. I don't know what that's all about. I also saw another guide that was like a woman in a waterfall. The woman had an updo, kind of like a Gibson girl. If you know the artwork from, I think his name is Charles Gibson. I'm not sure about the first name, but they're called Gibson girls. They're from the 1920s. She's got that updo. She had a lot of makeup on for somebody in the water. And apparently this waterfall is some sort of portal. So I drew also the two guides in one artwork. And since I know she wanted to get it tattooed, I also drew it a second way because she hired me to do two artworks. I drew it more in a tattoo style that she could take to any artist of her choosing. I did recommend for her city that she's in, which is Sedona. My friend Harley Goodson, who owns Ascension Tattoo, which is, fitting, right? Ascension. Um, and I believe he's got a neon Eye of Providence on his wall in the shop, so that's interesting. And it turned out she has already had work done from my friend. So we'll see. We'll see if I do the work. I will obviously post it if I do, and or if she gets it from Harley. I'm excited to see the end of this. I did some other spirit guide work. It turned out to be a medicine woman who I am familiar with. I've seen her for years. She was funny. When I was looking at this person, I don't say the names if they want to share their artwork themselves. I'm, fine about that, but otherwise I'm gonna, keep it anonymous. Um, I she wouldn't this woman wouldn't let me see the rest of his team or power animals. Like, she really, really just wanted me to draw her. And I kind of understand, because I tend to get excited about drawing the galactics um, more than drawing the humans, but she was large and in charge. She was just totally blocking me. And I tried to get around her. Um, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a salt bath. And then I thought to myself, well, you know what, my hot tub is a saltwater hot tub. So instead of wasting water and filling my tub in my bathroom with water, I'll just float in my hot tub and see what I see. So I only peeled back the lid halfway, and I was laying there in the water with my eyes closed, but I was in the sun, and I just see different stuff in the sun, like the rays. They hit, the sunlight hits my eyes, and I see different things. I see things like light codes, energy, and all this stuff that are in the rays. And the colors are not true to what I can see with my eye mask on. So without opening my eyes, I just reached around, felt for my lid of my hot tub, and I pulled myself under. And it was really interesting, because basically I created for myself a deprivation chamber, which I've been in before. I've been in these water tanks where they close the lid and you're in the darkness. And it really reminded me of Eleven in the series Stranger Things, how she would have to float in the salt water. So, I mean, anyone who's got a saltwater tank, you could do this too. It's not, there was a gap between the water level and the lid. And obviously it was open to air, so I'm not doing anything dangerous as far as like getting under some sort of tight lid with the water, or doing anything that would be risky. It was completely open, to, give anybody else out there who's got one of these an idea of how to create yourself a deprivation chamber, and see what you guys see, if it helps you out. But with the lid blocking the sunlight, it definitely was, I was able to see better, although she was still blocking me. Like, I saw some stuff, but not the rest of her team, not the rest of his team. I'm sorry, his team. So I drew her anyways. I drew her. I did get the message that this person, I saw that he works with animals and power animals and spirit animals. I saw that, and then she showed a plant, and it was like the plant was like glowing, or like, hello, don't forget plant medicine. So that was interesting, because I gave him that information, and he said he had just been thinking, like, that very day, should I be also working with plant medicine? So that was pretty cool that there was that synchronicity, if you will. But yeah, he was surprised that I didn't see a galactic. So I had drawn her, and I felt like I relayed the information about her. And after I did that, I was unblocked and able to see more of the team, you know, and all that. So give like a more a full report like I like to do. And so I was able to see this guide that he calls Abigail. I don't hear. He hears the name. So I don't know what she is, you know. Uh, he was calling her an archangel. I didn't see wings, but that doesn't matter. I've seen angels sprout wings, and I've seen angels that are not showing their wings in the past. So those seem to be something that just kind of come out of them, and they could fly off with them, or they can use the wings to create this orb around them and just fly like an orb, like a floating orb. So I don't know. I didn't see angels, and honestly, she looked like some sort of hybrid ET to me. Some psychic friends of mine, I showed them the artwork, and they heard the word tribred. So she might also be three different star seeds mixed. You know, it's hard to know when you don't hear. So, anyways, there's all that. I'm having a lot of fun with tattooing. People started coming to me to get sort of like their guides and things related to past lives tattooed on them. And I've been having little looks and seeing what needs to be in their tattoo. And I think I'll make a separate post about that because I'm starting a new one next week. I finished one this week, and I've got another one I'm finishing in September. So I'll have, I don't know, more to share about that, I think, next in my next post. So I think this was quite a lot already, a lot of artwork that I've worked on. And I think I'll end it there. All right, keep it short and sweet. Anyone who has any ideas or thoughts on deprivation tanks, you know, or experiences, please share about that in the comments. And yeah, of course, anyone who would like to hire me to draw their guides, I can be reached through my shop's website, and it's on the merch page. You could purchase the spirit guide art. And other than that, you know, like and comment, share my videos if you like, or if you find you've got people interested in spirit guides, or, you know, want to learn about more about the metaphysical side of life. That's all I like to talk about, really. It's my favorite. So be sure to share my channel. Okay. Anyways, I will see you next time. And I thank you so much for spending a little bit of time watching my video. All right. Bye.